All right, so today we're jumping into something really fascinating. It's a source that draws this incredible line between one of the most famous ideas in all of physics and a central story in the Quran.
I know, it sounds like the beginning of a riddle, right? What could a quantum cat possibly have to do with Noah's Ark? But stick with me, because according to the material we're looking at, this connection actually unlocks this huge, profound metaphysical system. So yeah, let's dive right in.
Okay, so to really get the parallel here, we've got to start with a quick refresher on the original thought experiment. You've probably heard of it.
So you've got this cat in a sealed box, and its fate is tied to a random quantum event. The key takeaway here is what's called superposition. Until you open that box and look, the cat is considered both alive and dead at the same time. It's pure potential. The act of observing, of looking inside, is what forces reality to pick a side. It collapses the state into one single outcome, alive or dead.
Okay, so what if that box wasn't just some container in a lab? What if the box was something as massive, as cosmic, as an ark? This is the core connection our source makes, and it's a pretty wild one. Let's see where this goes.
The whole idea here is that certain concepts in the Quran act just like Schrödinger's box. They create these kinds of sealed environments where destinies aren't decided yet. They're held in superposition.
Look at how this breaks down. On one side, you have the quantum box. On the other, Noah's Ark. The sealed container, well, that's the ark, sealed up tight against the flood. The superposition of states, alive or dead. Here, it's the souls inside, in a superposition between believing and disbelieving, and the observation that collapses the state. That's the moment the flood ends, the doors open, and the final reality is revealed. It totally reframes the ark, right? It's not just a boat, it's a container of undecided fates.
And this metaphor just keeps expanding. Think about it. Every mother's womb is also a kind of hidden box. Inside a soul is in superposition. It could become a Musa, a beacon of guidance, or it could become a pharaoh, a symbol of pride. It's pure potential. But then the source scales this up even further to cover all of human history. It says Adam was the original seed, the first container holding all of humanity's potential. And the Prophet Muhammad, referred to here as Ahmed, is the final tree of completion. So in this framework, all of us are living our lives in a state of superposition, suspended between that original seed and that final tree.
And this Quranic verse is used to really ground that idea. It suggests that our very state of being, whether we're awake or asleep or even alive or dead, is always held in a kind of suspense by a divine power. Just like the cat's fate is uncertain until the observer looks, our own state is constantly held by God's will, inside that huge cosmic container of history.
Okay, so if we're all inside these boxes, these containers of potential, what actually determines our final state? What decides if we're alive or dead, spiritually speaking? Well, the source uses this really beautiful metaphor of vibration and music.
The divine command be, kun, is presented as this primordial vibration. It's like the fundamental frequency of the entire universe, this constant hum that sustains all of creation. You could almost think of it as the source code of reality.
And following that logic, every single soul is like a string. It has the potential to be tuned to that divine vibration to create a beautiful harmony. Or it can be detuned, creating just noise and dissonance. So our whole life, all our choices, it's really just a process of tuning our own soul's string. The big question is, are we resonating with that divine command, or are we just making noise?
And this chart lays out the two ultimate outcomes of that tuning process. If your vibration is in harmony, you become light. That means submission, mercy. But if your vibration is just noise, you become fire, pride, chaos. It's a stark choice.
So how do you make sure you're tuned correctly? The source material actually lays out a kind of spiritual cheat code for this.
It's a two-step process, and it's presented as the absolute core of the spiritual journey. Step 1, cut the created strings. That means severing all those worldly attachments, the illusion that you own anything, including yourself. And step 2, grasp the eternal string. That's about full surrender to the divine, holding on to the one connection that can never, ever break.
And all this tuning and container talk, it all leads to the ultimate conclusion of the metaphor, the final cosmic opening of the box, the moment all the uncertainty finally ends.
On the day of judgment, all superposition ends. Allah, as the ultimate observer, collapses every single soul's state into its final eternal reality. This is it, the moment potential becomes permanent. The true music that each soul was making their whole life is finally and eternally revealed for what it is. And this timeline lays out that final, dramatic sequence. The first trumpet blows, and all states are suspended. Then the second trumpet blows, and behold, all souls are standing, their final reality revealed. With that final observation, every soul just collapses into its final, irreversible form. Eternal harmony or eternal noise.
So let's just quickly recap this whole incredible framework. We've got the box, which can be Noah's Ark or the womb. We've got the seed, which is Adam, the first container. Then the tree, which is Ahmed, the final container. And inside it all are the strings, us, our souls, vibrating. Then comes the observation from Allah's command, which leads to the final collapse on Judgment Day.
And the source leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. It takes this huge cosmic metaphor and makes it intensely personal. It basically says, you are the cat now. Inside the box of your own life, you are in a superposition. You are the potential for light and the potential for fire, both at once. The final observation is coming. So, which state will you choose to be found in?